it says check your attitude, like we're gonna do that. We're just dancing. That's our attitude check, bro. We
So
got
my partner
That's the
finally
check.
heard our opening music because usually I have headphones on, so he's never heard it. He's literally like watching me dance and listening to our song, like, what is this?
Okay,
Not necessarily saying it's bad, but like he'd never heard of it.
first of all, excuse me, sir. Why are you not watching after we go live? I
Oh.
need that SEO.
That's true. You should be
First of
watching
all.
on YouTube. However, hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. We are unleashed, and as usual, we started
Good morning.
in a very upbeat manner, which is weird for me at 8 o'clock Central. So, today though, I'm excited about the topic because I think about what if a lot. And I'm not going to start out this conversation. I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. I love what if. I love thinking about other options. So I'm going to throw it to Brittany first, though, to come up with the first what if. I liked yours, and it fits your week.
Okay. What
That's
if?
what, yeah.
I'll go with that one then because I gave like 5. What if we normalized business owners taking time off?
You mean solo entrepreneurs actually putting their business on hold for a day or two and saying, it's okay if I don't answer an email? Brittany, but how would I make money? How would I make money, Brittany? I can't do that. What if like that biggest client happens right in those 2 days and I miss it, Brittany?
Your biggest client isn't going to happen in those 2 days. You're not going to lose them, right? We think that this goes back to having to be in everything every 2 seconds, right? That attention span. We think that if we don't get right on top of somebody that they're not going to respond to us. We think, and we've had this joke because a few connections that I didn't talk to since November of 24, and they've been huge influences in our circles.
Yes.
And so it's a big thing to really understand that if you actually took a breath, you could appropriately talk to people. You could actually respond to that email in a way that is more genuine to who you are than in a quick, oh my goodness, let me panic and get this done, right?
Yes. I 100% agree. I 100% agree that we need to normalize it, and people like us need to continue having these conversations that it's okay to step away for a little bit. And if your company can't afford, like if you're like, I really like my anxiety won't allow me to do this, right? Take an afternoon, right? You don't necessarily have to take a whole week or full days. Just say, tomorrow I'm just going to work till noon and then I'm going to eat bonbons and watch General Hospital. I don't care what you do, but just do something work, right? Is General Hospital still on? Like, I don't even know.
It is.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, so I don't think I only watched General Hospital for a short period of time in my life. I had this job where I had a set lunch hour, and there was this big TV, and there were 3 of us that sat in there and ate our lunch and watched General Hospital for like a year and a half. It was amazing. Random story about Sarah. But yes, we need to normalize taking that step away, right? So Yvette, it's normalizing vacation, normalizing time off, that type of thing. What are your thoughts about, because you talk to a lot of people about that executive presence, that confidence, those things like that. Do people is it a lack of confidence when you don't want to take days off? Is that we don't have confidence in our business? We don't have confidence in ourselves to be successful?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really just being afraid someone will think something. Oh, they think I'm slacking off, I'm not grinding, if I take off and something goes wrong, it's all my fault. Just not having the confidence to say, I honestly am not, I'm not okay. I'm not feeling it. I hate everything. And
Yeah.
I just want to step away for a moment, or it just feels like it's forever. If I step away, then I'm just gone. When you just need a break from everything, you need a mental break. Physically, your mind's a break. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's
Well,
confidence.
and if we took that time off, we wouldn't get to that point.
That's true. That's true. It is kind of a vicious circle though, but because if the fear, and I think this brings me to my question a little bit, is what would you do? What would happen if you actually did the thing that scared you? So if taking a day off scares you, what would be the worst case scenario that would happen, right? But we don't need to get into that. I think everybody can kind of see the concept that there wouldn't really be a worst case scenario, right? You ate a little too much chocolate and took a nap. That is a good life goal, okay? So everyone should do that, to take an afternoon off at bare minimum. But what would happen if we actually did the thing that scared us? So Brittany, I'm putting you on the spot again. What scares you?
What scares me is actually closing a sale.
Ah, that conversation. So you're good with the marketing ahead of time. You're good with the general conversation about what you do in that initial phone call. But when it comes to the actual, do you want to buy my services? It
Yeah,
scares.
and it's not that the services aren't of value. It's not any of that. And we've talked about this. I was raised in a world where you give the shirt off your back.
Mm-hmm.
So who am I to charge somebody to enhance their life? Who am I to be that person who puts that behind a paywall? And so that's my struggle. And what if I didn't have that? I'd probably be flourishing way more than I am now.
There you go. Yvette, what is your fear? What is the thing you're avoiding because of fear?
I would say, I don't know if it's avoiding, I'm just so fearful that everything that I do is not purposeful. I don't know what that is, where it's coming from, but I just want to be purposeful. I just want to be valuable to people. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what mine is. And if I'm not, it's just.
And you're worried that your clients won't think it's valuable. Like, hey, you purchased my time and now you don't think it's valuable.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, what do you mean? Yeah, I wasted your time? Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay. I can see that being a fear. I don't see it being accurate, which is why we're talking about this, right? What happens if we just do it? Your services and you are very valuable. So, but yeah, for me, it's similar, but not really. But for me, and Brittany, I think knows mine because I've said it a few times in different calls, but I worry that I'm going to offend someone with my online opinions. So I avoid putting my true opinions out into the world. Now, I have gotten better. So if somebody wants to see some more valid, purposeful of Sarah's opinions, those are on Substack more than they are on LinkedIn. Now I connect it to that, but it took me a while to be okay with my voice, and I'm still getting okay with my voice. Brittany has a weird look. What's going on?
Oh, I was doing some SEO, and when I post our links, they show up funky. So I'm going to post them twice.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking she was like, Sarah, you weren't ever afraid of your voice. And I'm like, you were here for the blog situation, Chica.
Sarah, I think you will.
What?
Yeah, I think you will. I think you will. I think we all do. No matter what we do, how we are, you know, I'm gonna seek out to be upset today.
No, I think for me, I just have to avoid worrying about offending people, and I'm getting better at that. So we will see how this turns out. So Brittany, your second question was pretty much your first question, which was what about time off, and then how do we normalize naps? So what's a business question, Brittany?
You didn't get those?
I did, but you got to read them.
Oh.
For your question. And then we're going to get to one of Yvette's questions.
In my defense, you asked me as if I didn't.
Maybe I did. I don't know. In my defense.
First of all, guys, I answered it right when I woke up. So my other thing, it was kind of a twofold when I said what if, but one of them is what if when you opened a business, you were handed an accountant with $1,000, with $100,000, right? When you walked in and you said, hey, this is my dream. This is what I'm doing. I'm building this business. This is all my IEN number. You and the accountant sat down, you set up the business, and you were put into an account $100,000, and that accountant,
your business,
mind you, because I'm not just giving people $100,000, that accountant helped you and would only cut that check when it was a business transaction.
Yeah, so you can't buy your groceries and pay your rent.
Right.
Got it. Oh, what would you do with $100,000? Interesting. So what would you do with $100,000? Did I just hear myself again? Anyways, the first thing I would do. Am I hearing that, or
I hear you
twice? Do you hear me twice, or is it me?
Twice? Do you hear? No, I hear you.
Twice, or is it me? I'm gonna try something.
No, and I mean, I have you live on my other thing, but the other thing's muted.
Okay.
And you're coming from my ear, so I don't know.
Yvette, can you hear us? All right, I'm just gonna go with it. Oh wait, I just muted her, and I don't hear it anymore.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, let me try that. All right. Yvette, can you hear us?
I don't know where she went.
All right. What was I answering?
You were answering if you had $100,000 in an account for a business transaction.
My biggest thing right now that I want money for my business is to be able to do some marketing. So I don't have money for actual online marketing right now, and I have that strategic table that I'm creating that I would love to do some marketing around. But honestly, I also have wanted to buy a few sets of my coloring books to be able to give them away in a sense as samples or as thank yous to people. And you're thinking, Sarah, they're $2.38 for the author copy. But there's just a level that money hasn't allowed me to do that quite yet, to buy the amount that I want right now. And I think that those would be the first two things that I did. But the problem is that would be a few $1,000s, and I would really have to start planning on what I would do for the other 97,000. Because I don't need an office space. I don't need. Ooh, maybe I buy a company car. Does that count?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you buy for your company?
With a wrap on it.
Yeah, a wrap on it. If you had 100,000.
Yvette, how about you?
I would market everything.
Okay.
I would market everything. I would probably market. I love the company vehicle of that. Honestly, I would take a vacation from life. I would take a month away and just be whatever that is, whatever that looks like.
Okay.
Yeah.
To build the business though,
I would
because
unapologetically be gone.
Okay.
Yeah, but the money can't be spent on you. You have to spend it on the business.
Oh, I would definitely contribute to a battered women's homeless shelter. And I would invest in a program to train them to make enough money to live without someone else. Not a training program to work at the grocery store or anything like that, but just something, AI, something relevant and profitable for the family.
Okay. Awesome. Yvette's going to make a second business.
No.
So one of the things, Yvette was like, oh, I'm going to go on vacation. Sarah, you were like, I'm going to, I don't know how to spend 100,000 immediately on a business. One, obviously the biggest thing that we need to do is pay ourselves. So inside of this question, one of the things that we forget to do as business owners is we forget to give us owners pay.
Wait. We're supposed to be making money?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Yep. So as business owners, one of the biggest things that we forget is that we should pay ourselves that owner's pay. At least a monthly check. And it doesn't have to be much. It can be what you need to sustain, right? That way the business is still sustaining and you're sustaining, but that accountant, I would hope, is going to make sure that you're paying yourself enough to make sure that you're provided for. And with 100,000, you should be able, well, in the good old days, you used to be able to do that pretty easily.
The good old days, like you're so old, but go ahead.
Yeah. However, you really want to look at what does it look like to make sure that I'm sustaining? What does it look like to make sure the business is sustaining, that marketing is going, and you're paying a team of people, right? When we can pay a team of people, that stress level goes away. We have a virtual assistant to do the tedious stuff that we don't want to do. We have time because we can now breathe and we can focus on some of the nitty gritty things that we avoid. We know I avoid social media. We can look at those different things because that stress is off our shoulders. When we're talking to people to make a sale, you know what? I have money in the bank. The sale isn't going to make or break me. This is just a part of my day to make sure more money goes into the bank.
I agree with you on that. Yes. 100%. And I think knowing things about yourself and focusing on what you bring to the table also makes those conversations a little easier. So, Yvette, I want you to do your question number 2. And let's talk about that a little bit.
I think she's freezing on us.
All right. So the question is, what if you audit your professional story and highlight what actually reveals your power and not just what fills your resume, right? And I think a lot of times and I do this, I am guilty of this. Well, it's not on my resume. I didn't actually do that thing at a job. So, if I didn't do it at a job, then I don't have the right to tell somebody else or give somebody else advice on something if I can't prove I did it, right? And I'm actually going to use you, Brittany, as an example. If somebody went and looked at your LinkedIn and said, Brittany's never been an accountability expert at another job, well, no crap. Well, I was gonna swear on live. I don't think you're supposed to do that. No crap. There's no job title of accountability coach, expert, anything at 9 to 5 corporate jobs, right? The title doesn't exist. My title, HR fixer, doesn't exist. And technically, I've only ever had one job where I had a title around HR. And so I think Yvette's going to come back in on her phone. I think her internet's being wonky. So talk to me a little bit about that, like the powers that you have, Brittany, that aren't actually on your resume. Or you can talk about other people's powers if you don't feel like talking about your own.
Well, I think it's an interesting concept. I'm a coaching / consultant, and a lot of people, I went to go get on, somebody sent me to one of the websites where they have coaches, and they're like, oh, well, you should, and I got through the interview. They're like, you're amazing. We want you here. What are your credentials? My life?
Right, my life.
My jobs, my everything that I have done. Oh, you don't have a coaching credential? Why don't you go take this coaching credential and come back in a month? Cool. So your piece of paper that takes me 1 month to get is going to certify me to be on your website.
Apparently.
And I don't need any experience, no certifications to get to that.
No.
Cool. Okay, well, let me tell you, all of my friends have been entrepreneurs for 15 years. Let me tell you, I have helped them market, I have helped them build, I have helped them strategize, I have helped do all of those things. And when I was in an office, even though it wasn't my position to hold people accountable, I was there for my coworkers. I was there to make sure that we worked as a team, to make sure there was a collaborative effort in the things that you have to do. And so many people take out the effort. Do you know how much effort it takes to sit in a building with people? I don't ever want to do it again.
No.
I don't want to do it again.
But I think you're right, though. I think one of the things that people avoid is admitting that they were a project manager, because that is a title in the corporate world. And what people don't get, though, is probably 50 to 7, and I don't know these statistics, I'm making them up as I go, but a large percentage of corporate jobs have a level of project management in the duties without saying you're a project manager. And so many people are like, oh no, I was never a project manager. Did you manage projects? Well, yes. Oh, and you're a project manager, right? And that is something that I think if we have more conversations with people, they'll understand all the things they bring to the table versus all of the things that they think they don't have. Hey, Yvette.
Hey, sorry about that.
All is good. All is good. So we were talking about your question number 2 of revealing your power, not just what fills your resume. And I will just give us your perspective on that. Why did you love that question? What do you
just a second. My stuff is coming up. Okay, and repeat that. I can hear you now.
Sure. It's we're talking about your second question about highlighting what reveals your power versus what just fills your resume. So kind of talk about that question and what you were thinking and your perspective on it.
I just feel like sometimes we forget our power. We do so many wonderful things in life. We help so many people. We transform other individuals' thought processes where they've become successful in regards to it, but we completely forget, and we always are on to the next thing. And I think it's wonderful to just sit down and look at your accomplishments. Call someone that you've helped in the past and allow them to fill you back up and tell you, I do remember that. And I'm so grateful for, you being there for me that evening. Or, I remember when I hired you as a coach and my life is this now. or it's been a year and all the things that I wanted to do have come true because you've supported me. So I just think it's wonderful to go back and just look at your accomplishments and feel it. Sometimes it's a funny feeling to just say, I'm absolutely wonderful and I love it. I'm brilliant. I'm intelligent. I'm crazy smart, or I'm really good at my job. And to just say it often and just embody who you are when it comes to how powerful you can be. So that's what I was thinking.
I love that. I love that. So I want to hit one last question because we are coming up at 25 minutes here. And then I want to kind of wrap this up. But one of the things that Brittany talked about was like she tends to question some things that she wants to give away her services. Like, I grew up in an environment where, if somebody asks for help, you help them. And so my what if question is, what if everyone in the world volunteered more? What I'm trying to get to is not give away your services, but actually give it to a nonprofit, a way to help people that truly need your services, not the people that just make you feel maybe guilty on a call that you charge too much.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on people should volunteer more and not necessarily give away services? Go ahead.
I think that's a great space. And also it's a good thing for your business as well. One of the biggest things that, well, we all know I'm a big fan of Critical Role, right? And for the longest time, 26LA, why do I never know what the numbers for that foundation is? It's a really amazing foundation in Los Angeles, but they are for kids. It's a writing group, and Critical Role has donated to them forever and ever, and like has gone and done stuff with them. But then also Critical Role built a foundation because all of their people have picked different people for them to help, like different programs. And so then they created their own foundation, which then goes and donates to all of those smaller foundations, right? Because they found the nerds. They found the nerds, and the nerds are paying out, and they're able to get those donations and those things. And so when you can utilize your space to provide to other foundations, and you can use your voice to get those places heard, I think that's a phenomenal thing, and we should all do it. We should all push to support the causes that are important to us.
What are your thoughts, Yvette? What if we volunteered more?
I think it would be absolutely amazing. I feel like we think we have to do so much. It could be $25 a month. It could be $10 a month. It could be just your time. We think that if we have to go all out and donate all this money and, do a telethon or something. Wow, it sounds dated. Put on a huge production when you can just put a link in the bio and say donate.
Yeah.
It's just not as hard as you think it is. So I think simplifying the process and your support might motivate you to actually do it.
Sure. And so, no, I completely agree. And I think that everyone should find time to give their services to a nonprofit. And no matter what you do, I'm telling you right now, whoever's watching, the whole 2 people at the moment that are watching, and whoever watches this after the fact, there is a nonprofit that needs your services. And if you can't figure who that is, please reach out to me and I will find a nonprofit that does. But let's pretend you don't have time, right? You have 2.5 kids and a dog and a white picket fence that needs painted every summer. And my gosh, you are just busy. Okay. And you can't donate time every week, and you don't have the finances to do that. Brittany, what is my answer to this every single time? What should you do?
Blood.
Donate blood. Okay.
Ah.
Donating blood saves 3 people for every donation. Okay. And it's 1 hour every 56 days. Go ahead.
I saw an ad the other day that you could donate plasma and make $800. So you
plasma's
could get married.
Plasma is wonderful. If you donate plasma, it helps with research, right? So those places that pay you for your plasma are helping with research, which is amazing too. Because if you're like, oh, I want to save the puppies, donate plasma. Then they do all the testing on human stuff instead of on puppies. Okay. So, and then, but also donating blood saves human lives. So you want to do that. But puppies are just as important. All right. Well, I wanted to get into that just a little bit because everybody has a service that they can give, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And instead of giving away your services simply to the people that complain that you are costing too much, and this is probably a whole nother podcast, donate it to people that actually need it through a nonprofit that vets the people that are going to use your services. And think about like legal aid, right? Like legal aid is that concept where lawyers give pro bono services to people that actually need it. If you went into a law firm is like, oh, you cost too much, they'll be like, go to legal aid. Right? Like, so think about it like that when your services are being questioned in that way. All right. We are at 31 minutes and 25 seconds. We're over, but that's okay.
We're getting some better.
I am going to start, and then Yvette, and then Brittany, you're going to end it all, okay? So you're going to wrap us up. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm an HR fixer and a leadership strategist. I build those programs for small and medium-sized companies. But for the most part, HR and leadership is boring. So I have developed 5 leadership development reflective coloring books that bring a little bit of more fun into the situation. And I'm working on workshops around that. So check out my websites. All right. How are you?
I like it. I'm Yvette, the founder of House of Confidence, a community where I help women over 40 elevate how the world experiences their presence from the boardroom to the bedroom. Woo. All right, Brittany, it's you.
Close us out.
Sophia, we love you so much. Thank you for joining us. Sophia Rigo is a holistic concierge. And she will connect you with all the holistic people. I love her to pieces.
I love her.
My name is Brittany. I am an accountability tech strategist. So what I do is I help those tornadoes in a bottle, all of those business owners who are doing the motion and can't break out. I help them shatter the glass by finding alignment in who they are, who their business is, and then we support where they're going with strategy, tech, and also delegation.
All right.
All right. I will say goodbye and we'll see you all next week.